Hello everyone, this is the MetaVerse Explorer. Thanks again for watching. So we have with us another AMA in the Grape Discord. We're talking to Chief Ape, or Chief, he likes to be called, from the TigerLabs team. So, Chief Ape, you guys are a NFT PFP project, but you're a bit more than that. Can you tell us about you first? Tell us about yourself and tell us about your project, please.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thank you so much for having me on here. It was a pleasure talking to you the other day and great to be back. My name is Chief. I am a US based crypto investor. I'm also in my other life a paramedic. I'm coming off about a 48-hour shift, so I apologize if I sound tired. It is only that. So yeah, but we basically have a team of US investors, crypto investors. Most of us are firefighters or medics who work together and set out to sort of create a different project, something that was consistent with what we wish we would see in a project. So I think I might be jumping the gun there, so I'll just end right there for the moment.
That's all right. Thanks a lot for telling us about yourself. So, what is Tiger Labs? I think we have done an interview with you, and it was one of the more watched interviews on my YouTube channel, which got about 17,000 views. So, you guys must be doing something either different, something right, or something that's just catching a lot of people's eyes. So, what is the Tiger Labs kind of project?
Yeah, so Tiger Labs is about again, it's about doing things different. It's about truly creating a community-driven project, but also doing it in a way where sort of everything is possible. And so Tiger Labs is sort of a nod to our view of ourselves as like an NFT innovation incubator. We want to essentially be the type of project that spits out things where you look back in retrospect and you're like, wow, mutations like mutant apes, that was a really, really cool project. Or, Soul Souls Fusion, that was awesome. We want to be finding ways to leave a trail behind us of innovation and sort of pushing the boundaries of what can be done.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So you did mention a few things there that you guys have implemented into your NFTs that a few projects have actually done as well. So like the first thing I see is like the Target Bomb airdrop. There's breeding that you guys can do. So correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys just finished your minting. Is that correct? You finished minting now.
We did. Yep, we just finished our minting. We burned everything that was unminted. So we have about, I think it's 38, uh, 33 or something along those lines, total NFTs in our collection. So we've got a pretty nice small supply and
Yep.
we are moving forward with the roadmap.
Can you tell us more about the numbers? How many was minted? What price you they were minted at? And now you have
Yeah,
33 in your public wallet.
yep. So we were minted at one soul each. We had 7777 initially, and we have a pretty awesome roadmap. A lot has been invested in sort of the next 3 quarters of this project already. And our holders, we also have sort of developed this amazing community of holders where we just looked at, we had sort of a slow start to things and we started to pick up momentum. But we also talked to the holders and said, basically, what do you guys want? We know where we're taking this roadmap. Would you like to make this a slow fill, or do you want to sort of turn the pressure up and burn what's left and just punch forward with the catalysts that are in our future? And they wanted to go with that. So I think we burned about maybe $300,000 of NFTs and fired through.
Damn.
So here we are.
Damn. Damn. All right. Um, that's I've never seen a project actually burn that many of their NFTs, but hey, that's the market, that's the demand, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the fun for us here. Is again, there's a lot of like, especially uh, working in a pretty busy industry, high stress industry. Like there's a lot of other things you can do to have fun and relax. But I think the thing I love about this is having a community that keeps us on our toes and sort of challenges us. And it's like, well, that wouldn't have been my preference, but it actually is a pretty bullish move. And if you guys want to do this, then we'll maximize it. So who am I to stand in the way? I'm just there to enable.
Yeah, just to enable others to experience it. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, cool. So I've linked the homepage for you guys in the live question, so feel free to look at that. They've got the Tiger Labs NFT kind of scrolling on the side, and they've also got a treehouse. So the treehouse is kind of like their timeline, and I can see here you confirmed with us that 7777 were Genesis Tigers that have been minted, and 3,000 have been burnt. There's also a few that have been designated to NFT rug pools. So talk to us about the NFT rug pool tigers and the tigers airdrop to early contributors.
Yeah, so we we had I would say an initially bumpy launch. We were one of the projects that got botted through Metaplex contract originally,
Yeah.
and so rather than just sort of uh, let things fizzle out or give up on something we really cared about, we just decided we'd relaunch and double down for holders, make sure everybody got taken care of. So everyone who originally invested got airdropped a second Tiger, and we'll get a Tigress as well when those launch. And yeah, we basically relaunched about a week and a half ago. And yeah, sorry, hit me with what was the second part of that question there?
Just like the tigers donated to NFT rug pools and
Oh
tigers
yeah,
airdrop to investors. You've talked about the investors a bit. The NFT
yeah.
rug pools. Have you guys gotten to that?
Yep. So we have indeed. So the week that we launched, we got botted, and then I think the first NFT, like significant Sol NFT rugs occurred. So it was Iconics, and there have certainly been more since then. But we decided to sort of take a pause before our launch and look at it and say, again, this project came about from investors who wanted to do something different, and what would we like to, what can we do at every step to sort of set a higher standard? And one of those things was to designate 555 of our NFTs for people who'd been rugged. So we set those aside and we have airdropped them. I think we have about 20 left at this point. So if you have been rugged on Sol from an NFT, definitely reach out quick.
Right. So it's through like a private DM message. Is that how that happens? Is there a
So
process?
they come to our Discord and then DM or basically tag our mods and just let us
Yeah.
know, and they will send you to me.
And of course they'll like verify this on chain. You'll give them your wallet, and then
Yep,
they'll
we
see
have a
that.
verification. Yeah, we have a verification wallet, so we have people send their rugged NFTs to that wallet.
Yep.
We've had some folks who were like, "I never received it because they rugged me in that particularly egregious manner," and in that case, we just verify their transactions and make sure that they qualify. But yep,
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for that. Like, as someone from the community, that's pretty good. Like to have like a second chance at an NFT when another project rugs on you, which is really disappointing in the Solana ecosystem.
yeah, I mean we've all been there. It sucks. So
Yeah,
why not try and take a little step to ameliorate that?
yeah. So you did mention something before that there's tigers and then there's tigresses, and so I'm reading the timeline here. They'll be eligible for tiger balm airdrop, and there's also breeding as well. Can you elaborate on that mechanic a bit more, please?
Yeah, so we have tigers, tigresses, and breeding, and tiger bomb, and we actually sort of switched things up a little bit. We like to under promise and over deliver. So we actually dropped our Tiger Bomb last week and mutated about 441 tigers, which I believe about half of them got minted. So 220 something actually came out and turned into mutant tigers through this Tiger Bomb that was airdropped into the wallet. So we're again, as part of our sort of NFT innovation thing, we look at things we like, we try and figure out how can we do a non-derivative version. So Tiger Bomb was that component there. We're also huge fans of Fusion. I mentioned that earlier. I think Fusion's awesome because it fulfills this sort of goal of ours to give people a little more free agency in their NFTs, like a choose your own adventure type scenario.
Yep.
So we've looked at Fusion and other projects and just sort of looked at it and said, how can we incentivize people to fuse things in a different way? So we've added loot style components with sort of named trait sets into our current collections. We are currently working on integrating 3 different fusion contracts off the bat. So we'll have one for tigers, which will let you fuse your tigers with other tigers. So you can fuse that with anything in the current contract for those Genesis, which means you could fuse a mutant with a non mutant. You could
Oh,
take 2 tigers with named traits and try and fuse the monocle of Satoshi with the golden jacket of Satoshi, and you either win big or lose big or hit somewhere
yep.
in the middle.
That's part of the game.
But it's totally, and it's like it's more fun if you have that option. And theoretically, I mean, if you really wanted to go wild, you could fuse all 3,800 tigers down to 2 tigers, and then figure out what you want to do with those. And so the next piece we looked at was, well, what would you want to do with those? And how can we mix this up even further? So we've added in a breeding mechanic that's coming with tigresses, which is a female tiger drop. And all of our early investors will be getting a Tigress drop, as well as we're dropping VIP passes this week for holders who purchased a certain amount before the end of our mint, and they will
Yep.
also get that Tigress drop. And then again, same thing applies to Tigresses, right? Named traits, sort of like themed rarities, a fusion mechanism, so you can fuse those Tigresses down and take, whatever group of Tigresses or whatever traits you want, and just try and kick those over to one Tigress, and hopefully you're able to land there, if that's your goal.
Yeah, it
And
sounds like
then,
it sounds like sorry to interrupt. It sounds like there's a giant
oh no, please.
ecosystem that you guys are building. Like you've got Tiger Balm, you've got Tigresses, you've got breeding, you got mutants, you got all this other stuff happening. It's
Hmm.
a giant ecosystem that I think you guys are building, and I think not many people know this as well. You've also got passive income for kind of the royalties. Do you want to talk about that as well?
Yeah, definitely. So we are currently doing 50% of all royalties to holders. We have a big announcement coming out about royalties actually tomorrow, which I think people will be even more thrilled about than the current ratio. So we're very much about trying to create a value generating project in the long term, so that people are incentivized to hold and invest and know that they will be reaping a return for that. And certainly, if they want to sell, by all means.
that
Um,
that that kind
but
of
as
brings me that sorry to interrupt again, that
Yeah,
brings me to
yeah,
two
no, please go ahead.
questions. Since we're talking about royalties, as you know, in Solana some of the NFT projects can't be listed on FTX because of the whole royalty and security and all of this kind of stuff happening. What are you guys plans
Yeah.
on that? Are you, first of all, are you actually on any decentralized NFT marketplaces, Solana Art or Magic Eden, and do you have any plans to go to FTX, because that might be a problem for you?
Yeah, so we're currently on Magic Eden and Digitalize. We I think so. Yeah, great question. Really interesting question. I think as an investor and as a developer, I look at it from sort of two angles. And um, I honestly think that it's completely overblown. Like, this is me as an investor talking, not as a developer. So as an investor, I think it's totally overblown. I think it's one of those things where it's the FUD of the week or the FUD of the month,
Yep.
in terms of like, oh my God, does this make it a securities? The reality is no one has any clue whatsoever. But the penalties for that are, one, very, very minor, and also limited to the company itself. And two, there are no penalties that are allocated for it at the moment, and there's no, really, there's no policy whatsoever to say it will even go that way. So I think that it was Meerkat Millionaires did a really good write up on it recently,
Yep, I saw that.
broke down what their legal team said about it, and basically said, look, like, this is a non-issue that's been turned into an issue, and we will find a way around it, but we're not particularly concerned at the moment. And so I think that's probably as an investor, that's where I'm looking at it from. As a developer, I'm looking at it obviously differently, in the sense that we are developing out multiple options to hit the community with, as far as ways to deliver that in a compliant manner. So, I think like Monkey DAO and Thugbirds and things like that, where they've got various methods for distributing things in a way that's maybe not just directly hitting the theoretical definition of a security.
Yep.
So there's a lot of ways to do it. I honestly think it's probably going to blow over in a couple of weeks. Curious, where you're standing on that at the moment as well.
To be honest, very similar to your thoughts as well. It is like the FUD of the month, maybe FUD of the fortnight. Um, People will easily move on from this, and we've kind of seen some of these NFT projects that completely strip royalties away from them, and then we have some other NFT projects that are totally going in the opposite direction, like Fabric Punks. Fab Punks are like,
Hmm.
no, we are giving out our royalties to our members. We are not going to go on FTX. We don't want to go on FTX. So I guess it depends on what protocol, what kind of team you have, and how you want to approach it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and I guess I didn't answer the FTX part either, but I think personally, like, we have such a commitment to a long project goal on this, that the sort of day to day or week to week changes are of less concern. I think, I love Magic Eden. They've been amazing. They've been super responsive. I think they have a great team and a great vision. I think so. We're very happy with where we're at the moment. And FTX is, again, it's like the anti-FUD of the week. It's the bullish news of the week. But once everything sort of smooths out, I think we're going to see which exchanges sort of rise above the others as sort of quality institutions. And I don't know that FTX will be there or won't be there. I mean, they could be there, they could not be, but it's like, I think it's just, again, it's so much hype around that and so much FUD around everything else, and it'll flip on a whim at some point.
Yeah, the sentiment changes so easily in crypto because it just moves so fast.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yep.
we'll move on to because you did mention something that I want to address. You did say compliance and something to do with securities in the past conversation. So for everyone in the audience, I want to let you know Chief Ape has doxed himself to me. But there is something else for the community to go off from, which is they are have been audited by Zertik. Can you tell us about the Zertik audit for the TigerLabs NFT collection?
Yeah, definitely. So we partnered with Zertik after, again, that sort of tumultuous week where we launched and we got bot attacked and people got rugged by other projects, and just said, like, look, the community kind of needs a reset. Um, would you be willing to look at us and evaluate every aspect of our team and our project, and audit us and form a partnership? So it was a long process. It was a pretty extensive vetting. Certic insures over $1 trillion of crypto annually, so they definitely don't mess around um, with their sort of partnerships on that side. Um, and it took a bit longer because we're the first Solana NFT project that has been audited and partnered with them. But we went through that process. We're currently listed as onboarding with them, which means that they're finishing the code audit, but the team has been audited, the project has been audited, and the code audit will probably take a couple extra days because we said to just go ahead and audit the Metaplex code and the sort of open source Solana NFT
Yep.
code.
Yeah,
And it hasn't been done yet, but
because all that it's really public. Everyone can go and audit the Metaplex code. So I guess the more important thing is auditing you guys as a team and the product you're trying to deliver to the community.
yep, absolutely. And I think it's sort of uncharted territory too, in terms of there's a lot of tokens that have been audited in the coin world, but for an NFT, it's not like you have this crazy innovative code that's working behind the scenes. It's really about the team and about the project, and sort of what's the commitment of the team and the validity of their claims and their identities and all of that. So I
Yep.
think we'll probably identify at some point, or Certic will probably identify at some point in the next year or two. I'm guessing they'll be setting the standard for what an NFT audit should look like. But it's certainly interesting to be on the front end of that and sort of learning what that might look like as we blaze the trail there.
Yeah, I think that's really needed. We have so many anon PFP projects that just, mint, and then rug, mint, rug. It's just like it's
Yep.
proliferating across in Solana because it's so easy for them to do it. I think we
Yep.
really do need like solid teams behind NFT projects, and especially if they're audited. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel strongly about this that I feel shut out by all the bots and all the anon PFPs in Solana, and I just feel like I'm losing out on some quality NFTs that I want to get, but I can't get. It makes me really upset.
Yeah, it's funny too because I think Solana is differentiating itself as this chain that sort of looks for quality art and quality projects, but it's still a very narrow lens of sort of where they're looking for those. And it's, I'd say, probably a bigger uphill battle for people that aren't already in the spotlight to
Yeah.
achieve that. So I think it's evolving and it's totally dynamic. But if any NFT space has somewhere for that to develop and sort of a room for that to develop and enthusiasm, I would guess it would be Soul.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to answer some questions from the community? There's a few people has
Absolutely.
asked some
Yep.
questions. So we have number one from Spec Gaming. Uh, what plans do you guys have to prevent the project from being hijacked? I don't know specifically what he means.
Yeah, Spec, could you elaborate on that a little bit?
While he does that, what makes your project a little bit different from others?
Sure. So I think what makes our project different is, I would say there's a lot of things, but probably at the core, it's that we're transparent, we are innovative, and we are also totally at the whim of our community in terms of, like, we bring ideas to the people and we get ideas from our community, and we are dynamically changing our roadmap according to what people look for or are looking for in our community. So um, we are able to deliver on pretty much whatever they want, but we're also not penned into a single path.
Cool.
So that choose your own adventure, I know I sort of come back to that, but I'd say that's probably what differentiates us.
So you're dynamic, very like water, you float.
Yeah.
um, And okay, so just short answers here. Will there be a secondary minting? I don't know actually. Will there be a secondary minting?
There will not be, no, and that that's
That's part of
again
it.
part of just yep is like community wants to burn, then we're going to burn. So we've burned half the supply. We have again plans to make this a very significant long-term project that sort of where we're the place that we think that we are taking this, where we're committed to go. That small supply definitely changes things from a strategic or financial standpoint for holders,
Yep.
because things become much more scarce. But we're totally on board with going that way, and I think that's again part of being honest about it. Is like, well, you guys want to burn, we'll do it, and we'll figure out what that means.
Sounds good. Sounds like you actually listen to the community. Another quick question: what market are you planning on being listed? And I think you answered it was Magic Eden and Solana Art. Are you on any other marketplaces?
Yeah, so Magic Eden and Digital Eyes right now,
Ah, not Solana
and
Art.
yeah, not yet. I'm sure we'll be on other ones as well, but I'd say most of our trading has happened on Eden at this moment.
Cool. What Solana project partnerships are on your roadmap at the moment? Do you have any?
We don't have any public ones. We have done little partnerships with a bunch. We have a few things in private that are being discussed that I don't want to roll out quite yet because we're rolling out a few big announcements in the next 3 days.
Yep.
So I will wrap those into there. But certainly partnerships are important to us. Um, and we have a few things that are, I think, going to be pretty big catalysts that will be
Yeah.
rolled out in that area.
Cool. Cool. If
And
it's not,
also
if
one
it's
one cross chain partnership as well.
Oh, interesting, interesting. I won't ask too much because I don't like to probe too much. But yeah, I'm always an advocate of it's going to be released, it's going to be announced when it's ready to be announced. I don't like an announcement of an announcement of an announcement. Um,
Yeah.
can you Tupu Kaipaka? I don't know how to say your name, man. Can you talk about the Treehouse Laboratories mentioned in phase 2 of the roadmap? And I have it full screen here. If everyone can go to the website as well.
Yeah, so Treehouse Labs is basically our NFT innovation lab, and that's where we all put our heads together and say like, what is the coolest thing we've seen in NFTs, and how can we make it uniquely cooler in our own way? So one of the things that we're looking at doing, this is just sort of one example of many, but one thing that I'm pretty big on right now, is I want to be able to bridge the digital to physical divide. So we're working in our lab right now with a couple of really cool independent artists who are making some of our Tiger Bomb drops for the future drop there, which will be happening soon. And some of those will involve actually burning your digital version and receiving a new digital version plus a physical signed asset shipped to you. Obviously, for people that would like to have that shipped to them. Um, so I think that's just one example of a lot of what we're trying to do. But we want to take things to a place that they haven't quite been yet.
Okay, cool. Um, more short questions here. Do you have any plans to make your own coin? Do you have any benefits for the NFT holders? I think we've outlined some benefits. Do you have your own coin, or the Tiger Balm is the coin of the Tiger Labs NFT?
So Tiger Bomb is basically like a mutant serum analog, and that so it's not a coin; it's another NFT token that will be coming to holders of mutants. So anybody who has a mutant in the next couple of weeks when we drop that will be receiving that, and then can mutate something else. We have talked about doing a coin. It's certainly something we're discussing, and the community is interested in it. We've also, like through discussions with Zertik, looking at what they advise about trends in the market and sort of ways to innovate. I think fractionalization of NFTs is really interesting. There's all of these sort of cool ways to hybridize DeFi and NFTs, and we're certainly looking at all of them, and also are open to any new ideas, especially things that are off the beaten track. So if you got something, swing by our Discord and let me know because
Yeah. Speaking of your
we're all
Discord,
about ideas.
how many members do you have on Discord? I see your Twitter. You have about nearly 10,000 followers on Twitter. How many members on your Discord?
Yeah, I think we're a little over 9,000 now.
Oh, cool, cool. Um, Dynite, what's the first major hurdle for your team to go through, and what do you think your next hurdle might be? What's the major hurdles? So I
Yeah,
think
I think the first.
the first thing was probably
Oh,
the being botted out, was it?
yeah, and I think I could expand that out to maybe just launching on Sol in general. One thing that Certic said is that right now, Sol is very new, and so it's 2.5 units of labor to launch anything on Solana versus other chains. And I think that's like, if I could hammer one unknown point into people's minds who are looking at maybe doing something like this too, that's probably something to think about. Is there's a lot more work to launch something on Sol. I think there's a lot of reasons to do it, right? You're getting in early on what I believe is going to be the next, truly strong NFT community, and probably the strongest one that exists on any blockchain. But you're definitely paying a price to get in on that.
Cool. A few more questions. I'll glaze over some of them, unfortunately, because we are running out of time. It's nearly 25 minutes. We'll try and aim for 30 minutes, keep it nice and short. A few major questions. Maybe you can pick out some questions in the live chat yourself if you want to answer them. I think the favor is saying the supply was 7777, but he only sees 3871 on Solana
Yeah,
Art.
so 3871 is what is left after our burn.
Yep,
So again, we burned about
about half.
half. Well, we burned, yep, about half the supply, and so our numbers are much scarcer than anticipated. But I think it's a bullish development for a project with the trajectory that we have. So I'm all for it.
Cool. Yeah. I love. I don't know. I think burning is sometimes good, sometimes bad, because you don't allow new people to get into the community. But at the same time, it allows the people already in the community to be more engaged because they have an even rarer NFT. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. It's cost and benefit, and the big thing for me on this one was just looking at both sides. I really couldn't come down on one side or the other as being right. So it was just absolutely a matter of going to the community and saying,
Yeah,
"What do you guys want?" And it's an interesting split. Like, it was very close in terms of people that really vocalized their thoughts on it. There was a very vocal group that said, "Let's hold off and just hold these and do this slow and steady." And then there was just a slightly larger group that said, "Let's go ahead and burn it and just kickstart it." And I think they all have valid points, but it was also cool to see how they all came together either way and said, "All right, this is what we've chosen as a community. Let's push it through." And yeah, so
yeah.
again,
Event.
that was sort of it's nice to be able to defer and just be like, "Well, you guys decide. I'm not sure if I don't think there is a better way, you know, here. So pick the one you want. We'll make it the best way."
Yep. I guess that's staying true to like, the community making decisions for the NFT project. That being said, someone else did have a question. How do you guys filter which decisions you should be implemented? Like, how did you obviously so for the burning this bunch of NFTs, the community did be more vocal and say, okay, we got to burn it. But how do you guys sift through that? Is there a process? Is there a initial kind of proposal? How does it work?
Yeah, that's an awesome question. I think we probably will maybe formalize that more as we grow and move forward. At the moment, I would say it's sort of like a mix of common sense and consensus. So we have a group of really active investors and holders who are sort of always there, always weighing in on things, and they certainly have a strong voice in that community. And it's not weighted at by anything beyond just the fact that they're active. But they I think are sort of the most effective screen of ideas because it's a nice broad swath of holders and people from different backgrounds who say, um, like, let's consider this carefully. Is this something that we want? So I have not seen anything come through where I felt like I had to really jump in and say, "Hey, can we talk about this again?" Um, it's again a fine sort of balance to strike as a truly community project. I think I will not jump in and say like, no, this is absolutely ridiculous. We won't do this for anything. But it's because I trust our holders, and if I really disagree with something, then I'll jump in and make a case through transparency and honesty and
Yep.
having an impassioned argument, and it either works or it doesn't. But again, that's part of the fun.
Yep, that's part of it. That's part of the community and the experience of being in the NFT space. It's good. I think that we're in a whole new like kind of dynamic, changing kind of ecosystem here, and it's so hard to keep your head around it. Um,
Yeah, it's honestly it's so much easier to keep my head around it now that I've just decided
to
on
burn.
like this. Totally. The burn, the community decisions, and it took it took a while to get there because we had to really build a community that
Yep.
knew us and that we knew and that mutual trust. But with that now it's a blast
Yep.
to be able to do that. But
Cool. Cool. Okay, guys, it's nearly 30 minutes now, so let's think about wrapping this up. We have two prizes to give away, two NFTs for the TigerLabs NFT. Um, two prizes. Let's go with I'll give one out. Chief Ape Officer will give one out. So let's do something a bit different. For my NFT, with your permission, Chief Ape, I'd like to give it out to the person who can give us the dirtiest joke in the live questions channel.
Permission granted.
Give me your dirtiest joke, and the one with the most votes, gets the NFT. And for your one, I don't know, how would you like to give out your NFT?
Yeah,
To-
I definitely I would say most of the NFTs we give out in our own Discord and community is to people that are most engaged and ask the best questions.
yep. So
Um,
who do we think that
so
is
I feel
today?
like I think Spec Gaming has been very, very present here. Spec and Favor,
Yeah.
it's a pretty close toss up there. So maybe we put up a vote for Spec or Favor.
Yep. Okay. Shall we? Can I do a poll? I don't know. Can I do polls?
Here, I'll do it how we do it in ours, the sort of quick and dirty way. So if all right, let's see.
Come on,
Vote
guys.
green or vote red.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. It's
I
tied.
tried for so long to figure out how to do a poll, and eventually I was like, well, it's Pollmoji time. Like,
Yeah,
as good
yeah.
as it gets.
This actually makes it quite easy, doesn't it?
Right.
And yeah, you just click on it. I don't see any dirty jokes, guys. Where are the dirty jokes? No one wants an NFT.
We might just give them a Spec and Favor. Oh, the
Oh,
poll bot really
there's an actual
coming through
poll.
early.
Oh no, it was Archimedes. He used a function.
Bravo. Oh, Lift. I like that joke. I've heard that.
Okay, so I'll read them out. Holy shit. Oh, holy shite. What did the toaster say to the slice of bread? I want you inside me. Yeah, it was okay. What did the Cinderella do when she got to the ball? She made choking noises. What do a Rubik's Cube and a have in common? Guys, I'm on YouTube, so I don't know if I can say that word out loud. The more you play with it, the harder it gets. It can be a terrible dirty joke. Give me your most terrible dirty joke, mate.
Yeah, I think we heard one.
I'm old enough. Don't you worry. Why does Dr. Pepper come in a can? Because his wife died. Ha ha ha. Alright, so what's the poll? We have 6 votes. Favor is winning so far by a landslide 83.3% out of 6 votes. So guys, go up and vote. Oh, 75, it's changing. 62.
Yeah, make
Oh,
your voices heard, guys.
yeah, guys.
This is democracy in action. Oh boy, live.
Oh, so it's part of the joke. My age is 28. Actually, no, 29. 50-50. How is it 50-50, guys? What's happening? Vote. There's 30 people listening here.
Got the mustard. Bravo. Well done.
Where's the mustard? What? You know the best thing about 28? No, I don't know. You tell me. Wait, do I want to know? I'm not sure, man. Okay, yep, he got it. He got it. Friendly's got it. Friendly, you did it. That's it.
Brutal.
Well done, mate. Friendly, you get an NFT. Congratulations. Now, let's see the voting. Let's give it.
Yeah, last chance to get your votes in, guys.
Yeah, 40 seconons. 40 seconds left.
Respect. Oh, 50-50.
53.
Okay, let's go.
53. 50, 46.
Get those votes in. 13.
Come on, guys. I'm going to do a small countdown. 50. Oh, you guys are manipulating the votes. You guys are voting. It's 13 and 12. 15 seconds, whatever it stands on when I see it. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 2. Spec Gaming has it. Congratulations, Spec.
Congratulations. That was a real close vote there. Very close election.
Well done, guys. All right, so we have 2 NFTs going out to Spec Gaming. No problem, man. You're welcome. Much love, much love. Spec Gaming and who was the first one? I forget. Oh, the joke. The really good joke. Who was it? It's Friendly. Spec Gaming and Friendly. Okay, guys, watch out for your NFTs in your wallet pretty soon when we finish this AMA, so we can wrap it up nicely. All right, guys, this has been the Metaverse Explorer and Chief Ape Officer. We've been talking about TigerLabs NFT project. They are also an NFT incubator. They've recently done their launch. They recently burned half their supply. And that's it. Chief Ape, any last words to say?
No, just to say thank you to the entire community here. It's been a pleasure. I hope you had as much fun as I did. And Meta, great talking to you again. And yeah, come swing by and say hi. Introduce yourselves. Love to get to know everybody.
My pleasure, man. It's been good. Thank you very much, Grape. Great protocol. Look at all these engaged people. Thank you so much, man. Okay, that's it for now. We'll see you guys later. Ciao.